What's up, school? Here we are. First topic of the class, government contracting fundamentals. A lot of people try to figure out how government contracts really work. It's not one of those things they throw money and just give out. It's one of those things the government just like, hey man, they source things out so they don't have to worry about it. Like cleaning, accounting, painting. The government hires companies to do that. Imagine being the mayor of a city and have to worry about who's going to clean the toilets, who's going to paint the buildings. So what they do is they go ahead and levy it down to an actual source, a solution person who they can contract it out. They have different type of contracts. They have contracts where you can sole source and call someone up and say, hey, this contract is under $10,000. I need some cars washed, and the government has to spend some money. Use the purchase card to go ahead and charge it. And they also other contracts where getting a higher area, over $10,000, where they actually put it out for bid, individuals for government contracting. So you have where you got the SAM.gov, and you have federal, local, city, county, state, all the above. So when you look at contracts, you got to look at it as SAM.gov is the worldwide contract. You get a contract in Malaysia, Fiji, whatever it is the U.S. federal government has worked for at U.S. embassies across the world. It's also with the ports, anywhere the federal is. I have right now federal contracts in Alaska, Atlanta, Detroit, San Diego, and New Orleans, Indiana. I have contracts in those areas, and those are federal. And those are VA contracts where I work with, right? But then don't forget about the small part where everybody's forgetting about the state, the local, the county. So right now, I'm in Las Vegas. Las Vegas has the federal contract, so they have federal contracts that's located here, but they also have a buyer, which is the state of Nevada. They're buying contracts as well. People forget about that. Then you also have the county contracts. That's a whole nother source, right? Then you have the city contracts. Within the city, you also have the schools. Those are other contracts set aside. You have the airports. Those are different contracts. You have the jails. And then you have, if you're in the water, you have the port. You have AT&T. You have so many different areas within government contracting. Usually you want you to sign up for each area to get notifications of all of them. But that's how contracts work. Government contracts are just buyers. The government is looking to buy services and buy products from people like you and I, everyday people. The way you get paid through government contracts is invoicing. Me, I love the federal contract. I can work a federal contract within 7 days. I can invoice. I can invoice every 7 days when you're a small business making under $35 million a year over 3 years. So my VA contract, I could do 7 days worth of work, and I can request an invoice on the 8th day, and I will get paid 3 days later. If I invoice on Monday, it's possible the money will hit my account on Wednesday. Now, that's prompt payment for small business with the federal government. Now, on another note, one of my state contracts in California, their invoice process is different. They do a net 45. And net 45 means it takes 45 days to get paid after you invoice. So if I start a job January 1st and we're over January 31, I can't invoice them until February 1st. And after February 1st, when I send the invoice in, the clock starts then, and it takes 45 days before I get paid. So the government would have up to March 15th till they pay you after starting work from January 1. So those are advantages and disadvantages of how it works. And they're paper checks in the state of California. But knowing your buyer is the best thing, and how you get paid is the best way. However, they do have factoring companies that will advance you and help you out and charge you 3% interest to keep your company afloat while you're going. Pay for tools and pay for services and pay for your labor. Now you want to understand the different contract types, right? You have RFQs, RFPs. So RFQ is a contract where the government just saying, hey man, I just need you to tell me how much it's going to cost. Fill in the blank. I need a janitor to work 40 hours a week, and this is how much the minimum you have to pay the janitor per hour. But just let me know after your profit, what's the lowest cost. I don't want any past performance or anything. Fill in the blank. Let me know your cost. That's called RFQs, request for quotations, right? But then you also have the request for proposal. Sometimes those are bigger jobs. When you over the $1 million threshold where they're asking for technical proposals, they want to know, hey, how are you going to do the job? What are you going to do? How are you pricing it out? And they ask for more of a written technical proposal, how you going to get a job. So those are RFPs, right? And then you also have BPA contracts, right? Blanket purchase agreements, where it's a contract over time, of course, where you're only a certain type of people that are allowed to bid on that contract if you win the BPA. And then you also have IDIQ contracts, indefinite delivery information quantity, right? I hope I said it wrong, right? The IDIQ contracts. However, that's like, I'm going to call you when I need you type of work. So you get the contract, but they don't have a portion about how much they need. But however, you do have the contract, you're on the hook for it, and they're going to call you when they need you. So many different type of contracts. Know what you get into, because if you don't, it might bite you in the butt, right? But you also want to know about these things called certifications and set-asides, right? A lot of people don't know the difference. So in the federal government, they got these things called set-aside. If it's a set-aside woman-owned business, that means nobody in the room can bid a contract unless they're woman-owned. If it's a set-aside veteran-owned business contract, nobody can bid a contract except for veteran-owned business, which is usually VA contracts. When it's set-aside small business, no one over the threshold, usually over $35 million or more a year, or over 3 years, can bid on those contracts. Majority of the contracts for the federal government are small business set-aside contracts, so it's called set-aside. When no one else can bid the contracts except for the set-aside. Woman-owned, minority-owned, sometimes hub zone. If you're in a hub zone, rural area, you're the ones who bid on that contract. Now, when you get to a lot of state and county contracts, they have incentive programs. So it's not set-aside, it's if you're a minority, if you're a veteran, you'll get a few bonus points to bid on the contracts. However, everyone's allowed to bid on the contracts. You just get a few brownie points while you bid on the contracts to give some more incentives. It's almost like taking a test with extra points on it, right? So you get a little brownie points, extra points to get you involved in the game. One of the things I used to do was chase clients all the time. I don't chase clients anymore. Now, I go ahead and I see what's out there and I secure the contract. When you secure the contract, most local and state contracts are 2 to 3 years. All federal contracts are 1 year guaranteed with 4-year options. So it's usually a 5-year contract. So sit behind your desk, pay $0 and look up the information. You secure contracts long-term. It's like I was a felon business at one time with a catering trying to figure out how to get my sales. And I was able to secure my sales through government contracting. So as you're going to transition from chasing a sale every day, trying to figure out how many people you can sell to get that one government client that's going to say, hey, I need you all the time, every day for 5 years straight. That's how it is, man. It's the first day, right? Government contracting fundamental. Welcome to my school. If you're a small business owner that's struggling, you don't have to chase clients anymore. These government contracts are going to set you up and scale you right without putting $1 in marketing. If you have a business that's failing, plumbing, painting, junk removal, trash, catering, they're all out there. The government's looking for them. They need you. That's how you're going to secure your sales. Government contracts will give you 3 to 5 years of consistent work. You get that, then you stack it, and then you're on for life. Look, I know I unload a lot of information. If you're really looking for more information, we're hands-on, one-on-one with me. You can reach out to me or my team on Instagram. I am Rich in Real Life, or you go to richinreallife.com, and I can show you the way we can set something up. One of my main reasons in doing this, I want to change people's lives. You know, I ain't the only one who want to be on a private jet, on yachts, having fun. I want you guys to help and enjoy it and be there with me. Chasing sales is tough, but when you go ahead and secure your sales, you're a good stretch of business. I love help people out, love help people succeed, and I'm not a gatekeeper.